コブラバイオロジックスセールス&マーケティングダイレクターのミスター・フィリップ・リドニー・スミスでございます。がん治療薬の製造、成功への道しるべ。
Thank you very much for the introduction. So what I'd like to talk today about is a quick introduction to Cobra, but also some pointers and insight into outsourcing. So Cobra, I should say, it actually stands for Clinical Oncology Birmingham Research Associates. So Cobra actually started off as a therapy company. We are now a full contract manufacturing organisation. So our history goes back to 1992, and we built our own manufacturing site in 1994. Since then, as any long-running biotech company, we've had quite a colourful history. But where we are today is as a dedicated contract manufacturer. We acquired a fill-finish site in 2011. And I'll just give you a brief description of our three sites. Our first site is based in Sweden. This is our large antibody and recombinant protein production site. Currently, we're investing in a disposable 1,000 litres from Hyclone. We're one of the first to install this Hyclone system. Our second site is at Kiel in the UK. It's for virus manufacturing and small-scale microbial work. And there again, you'll notice we're investing in commercial 250-litre virus production. In fact, we're investing in all three sites. We've increased our headcount in the last 3 years by 40%, and that investment is continuing. So our final site that I mentioned we bought in 2011 is our fill finish site. This enabled us not only to close the loop in terms of the service we provide, so from cell line development right through to fill finish, but also allowed us to supply commercial products. So we have two commercial products, one a vaccine and one a pediatric drug that we supply. All sites comply with the European Clinical Trials Directive, and we signed actually our first Japanese company around the same time last year. So we've been working with them for the last year very successfully. So outsourcing, to outsource or not to outsource. There are certainly disadvantages, but there are also advantages, and I'll just go through the disadvantages briefly. You're adherent to the supplier scheduling. You have less control over costs. Quality, again, you're reliant on the provider for the quality, and accountability sometimes can be an issue. Probably more importantly, security. So your intellectual property. This is your drug. This is probably what you're looking to grow. How protected is your IP? Also, how protected is the data itself that's generated? Of course, if you're outsourcing, technical communication can be an issue, depending on the provider's expertise. Time, putting the two groups together can be difficult, and there are always language barriers. So the advantages. Again, it's really enabling you to focus as a research company on your core competencies, ensuring that internal resources aren't distracted. Investment, outsourcing allows you to focus really on your high-value projects. There's no additional capital investment. As you may be aware, building a new site can be $30 million plus. And also, you can use the technical expertise of the service provider, which is an additional bonus. So as I've said, you're when you're outsourcing, you're really looking at the expertise of the service provider, the experience that they have, preferably in the product area that you're dealing with. Manufacturing is not simple. There are considerable amounts of regulation, and as you start to look at clinical trials outside of Japan on an international basis, then there needs to be a clear understanding of the regulatory requirements. Time. Time is as much a key factor for the service provider, and they will look at shortening time as much as possible. Also, the investors tend to be happy to see that, again, the company is focusing on its high-value projects rather than focusing on building new sites for products that may not reach market. So where to start? Clearly you need to be clear about your background and objective, who the stakeholders are in the project, the scope of work, whether it's a whether it's a tech transfer or whether it's a full development of a process. Something that's always forgotten is where are the analytics? Is it an analytical method transfer, or is it development of the analytics? And what are the assumptions in the project? And at the end of the day, you need to be very clear what the deliverables are on that front. So the selection process. Thankfully nowadays, identifying CMOs that have the experience that you need is simple. Google, web search is a very good way to start. Then there's a question of, from the criteria that you put together, it's a question of screening them and contacting them and getting in place a confidentiality agreement that allows an open discussion between both parties. Providing snippets of information won't help you in getting the most out of your service provider. So sending out the RFP and then receiving the responses always in a timely manner. Be sure to set out clearly when you would like those responses by. And then it comes down to evaluating what you've received, but especially visiting the site and seeing the people, because at the end of the day you will be working with your service provider closely, and it is very much dependent on the communication between your people and their people. And then the rest is obvious, making the selection and negotiating the contract. So this is when the fun begins, making sure that you have a proper project team put together, that there's a single point of contact between both parties to ensure that information is gathered properly, timely, and there are no confusions or data is lost. Must ensure a kick-off meeting so that both parties can assess where they're coming from and start building up the relationship. And then hopefully from that, we'll have detailed time planning and cost control. And finally, it's really between the project managers deciding on how often to update communication. We certainly found with our Japanese customer that video conferencing has been very good, because then it doesn't become just a voice at the end of the phone, but you're still maintaining that human contact. And then just to give you a bit of idea of Cobra's experience there. So oncology certainly has been one of our main areas. Up until recently, we've been working in preclinical phase 1, phase 2, but since we bought a fill finish house, we've moved more into the phase 3 and commercial supply. So as I said, we're supplying a recombinant protein as part of a cholera vaccine for Crucell, which of course is now part of Johnson & Johnson. And we're also providing a pediatric small molecule drug for activists. So in fact this part was bought by Watson, and then of course Watson changed their name to Actavis. So I hope I've given you a flavour of what Cobra is about. We are a contract manufacturing organisation. We're very proud that we managed to get our first Japanese customer last year, and we would certainly like to continue that momentum. And I also hope I've given you an idea of the key points for outsourcing. And the one thing I would leave you with is that outsourcing, key point is really communication between both parties. Thank you very much. Very good.